He's a dad. I think his son is going to be 2 months old coming up tomorrow. Had heart issues. He made some money with some sacks against the Broncos. A lot of things. Always great to have J.J. Watt joining us. How difficult is it now when you leave the house and you got your 2-month-old baby there at home that you have to say goodbye to?
It's very, very difficult, but it's a whole lot better to come home every night. Like after a tough loss, after a tough road trip, it's just normally, I'm in a real bad mood. I'm like down, but I still am. But then I come home and it kind of just melts away.
All you got to do is see that face. He doesn't know how your day went. That's always great there. Now,
exactly.
Did you get drug tested after the loss against Denver?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Monday.
How does that work?
How does which part of it work?
Well, I understand what you have to do for the drug test. I'm talking about so right after the game, and then you go into the locker room, and then what happens?
No. So I got a text the next morning, Monday morning. I got a text saying you got selected for drug testing. Please show up at the drug testing area, and then you have like a 3-hour window where you have to go show up.
Is that a compliment that you're getting drug tested?
I don't know. It always seems to pop up after a 3-sack game, so I'll take it as a compliment. I don't mind. I mean, it's a slight inconvenience in my day, but I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Like I'm going to pee anyway.
And then tell me about these incentive bonuses that you got. Are you aware that you're making money with these sacks that you had in the first half?
This is actually funny. So when I signed my contract down here, I knew I had incentives in it. But I thought that when I got hurt last year, I missed last year's incentives. I thought that took away my incentives from this year. So my dad, just like literally 2 weeks ago, was down here in Arizona, and he asked me, he was like, "Hey, you're getting close to your incentives, right?" And I was like, "Oh, no, like I don't, those got wiped out because of last year." He goes, "Oh, darn." So then fast forward to the game. After the game, I see all these tweets that are saying, like, J.J. Watt made $900,000 today. And my dad texts me. He's like, "Hey, I'm seeing all this stuff. Are you sure you don't have it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, it sucks." And then I see more tweets, so I'm like, all right, let me call my agent real quick. So I call my agent, and I'm like, "Hey, I see all these tweets, man. Like, my dad's asking me, people are asking, my brothers are asking me." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, it's real." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, we don't like to tell you as you get close to milestones because we don't want you to have it in your head and, like, get in your head about it. But, yeah, he made $900,000 today." I was like, "Oh, it's a pretty nice Christmas present."
But then if you get to 10 sacks this season, is that another $1 million?
I don't think it's another $1 million. I think it's just $1 million total.
Oh, because
I don't know. I still have not sat down and like actually looked at it. I do not know.
Why don't you ask your wife to look at it? I have something that says you're playing for another incentive. A 10-sack season will give him an extra $1 million.
Well, that would be nice. That would be nice.
We're talking to J.J. Watt, the older brother of T.J. Watt, joining us on the program. How's your brother doing?
He's doing good.
Wait, that was meant to be a joke that I'm introducing you as T.J. Watt's older brother. That was supposed to elicit maybe a giggle.
I'm used to it by now, Dan. You can't give me any more. We've flipped roles. I am now his brother, even though I had to give him a little shit yesterday because he's a Pro Bowl starter, and I have more sacks than him this year.
Wow.
So just gave him a jab.
Do players want to go to the Pro Bowl?
I don't even know what it is this year. It's not a game anymore, right? So it's some form of skills competition. When I first went to the Pro Bowl, it was when like Peyton Manning was kind of running the show out there.
Yep.
And so you'd go to Hawaii and you'd have the welcome meeting, and it would be, I mean, for me, I was a young guy, and it was Peyton Manning, Adrian Peterson, all these like guys that I literally looked up to, and Peyton was telling stories, and then you go hang out by the pool bar, and everybody's having a drink and sharing these unbelievable stories, and I just sat there kind of wide-eyed. I do think it has changed from that a little bit, especially with it being not in Hawaii anymore, because once you were there, everybody was kind of at one resort, and there wasn't much else to do outside of it. Everybody hung out there and just kind of spent time with each other. I do think it's different now that it's here and it's at Vegas and there's so much to do.
Arizona's lost 4 in a row. You got Tampa Bay coming up on Sunday night. How many times you sacked Brady?
Once in the playoffs. Yeah, he gets the ball out so fast. It's incredible. I mean, he's brilliant. Obviously, he knows every defense. He sees everything before the snap. He knows where he wants to go with the ball. I mean, you don't play till you're 45 years old without finding a way to not take too many hits, and he does an incredible job of that. So every time I play him, it's a great challenge to try and find a way to get back there before he gets it out of his hand.
You saw where the defensive back, Drake Greenlaw, a linebacker, asked for an autograph from Brady after he intercepted him. Would you swap jerseys with Brady after this game?
There's not many people I would do that with. I would certainly do it with the greatest player of all time. I do not see that happening. I'm not that guy. I don't really ask for him. And I have a feeling Tom is not that guy either. So I don't think either of us are going to be walking up to each other asking for the other jersey.
Give me an update on the heart situation. I mean, it seemed kind of scary there. I'm sure it was for you, but where do things stand now?
Yeah, fortunately, I'm in a situation where I don't think about it very often. It was extremely scary when it happened. We ran, obviously, a multitude of tests. I mean, everything from all your heart tests, your blood tests. I did a sleep study. I did everything. And basically, I was told that it could happen again tomorrow. It could not happen again for 20 more years. We really don't know. But I'm not really at risk, so I check my pulse multiple times a day. I just make sure my heart's beating in rhythm multiple times a day, and I kind of just go about my life.
When did you know something was wrong?
It was after, so it was on a Thursday, and after practice on that Thursday, I got my lift in, and then after the lift, we had meetings, and I was in the meetings, and when I stood up, I got kind of lightheaded, and I could feel like my heart, like my chest kind of beating differently. Like it just felt like fluttering, and it felt like it wasn't beating properly. So I checked my own pulse, and my heart was definitely not beating in sync. You know, your heart is normally boom, 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 boom. Mine was kind of going more boom, 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 boom. And so it freaked me out. So I went in and asked the trainers, did you guys just check me out? I think my heart's doing something weird. And when they listened to my heart, I saw the look on their face, and I was like, all right, this clearly isn't good. So then they sent me to our team doctor. He checked my heart, the same look on his face. So I was like, all right, this is really bad. And then he sent me to the cardiologist, who then he sent me to somebody else. And when the cardiologist sends you to somebody else, that's when you get a little freaked out. And eventually we got it all figured out, but it was definitely an extremely scary couple of days.
Yeah, I can only imagine, that what is it? And then you got to go home and tell your wife, and then you're trying to figure out, can I still play football? You had a baby on the way at the time. That's a whole lot to process.
Yeah, no, there was a lot being processed in a short amount of time. And then somehow we were just, I still I partially don't want to look stuff up about it because I don't want to know, but then I also really do because I need to know. But when they told me I was fine to practice and play the next day, I trust doctors a whole lot more than myself. I'm not the smartest dude on the planet, so they went to school a lot longer than I did.
How would you have done with NIL when you went to Central Michigan?
I probably wouldn't have done too well because I don't think I would have made any money, so it would have been about the exact same. I mean, I don't think they were paying a whole lot for whatever no star, 2-star guy I was, so probably would have been very similar.
Maybe your last year at Wisconsin you would have cashed in.
I honestly do actually believe that, that is where it could have played a factor because you're a junior, possibly leaving for your senior year. You absolutely love the school that you're at. You really, for us, we lost the Rose Bowl, and you feel like you have some unfinished business and things you want to do. But the reality of the situation is that there's an opportunity to set your family up for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that if somebody, back then was like, hey, we got $1 million for you. As a 22-year-old kid, $1 million is, anybody, $1 million is unbelievable. And you don't necessarily think, well, it could be, $15 million in the NFL. You're just thinking about right in front of you. So I do think that would have put more questions into my head. But I also think, man, Dan, think when you were in college. Like, if you gave me $1 million when I was in college, it is unbelievable to think about what the hell would have happened.
What would you have done with $1 million at Wisconsin?
So we have a group chat with my buddies and my brothers and also high school. And so we did this exercise the other day. And the first thing I would do is I would prepay like $5,000 in parking tickets because the parking is such a problem. I was getting towed. I was getting tickets left and right. So I would just go to the Madison parking police and say, here, guess what? You're going to see my scooter everywhere. That's fine. Just mark it on my tab. Then there would probably be a pretty large party for my teammates and I on State Street somewhere. Tabs on me, boys. And then I would have a cool apartment. I think that's just. I think as a college kid, I was living in some spots, Dan. I was living in some spots. It wasn't exactly a penthouse, so I might have myself, something overlooking the water there in Madison.
Well, congrats on the baby, and hopefully it's a great Christmas for everybody. And good luck against Brady. And check in on that. If you get to 10 sacks, do you make another $1 million?
Yeah, I will check in on that. Actually, I'm going to check in on that today. I appreciate it. Happy to be here with a bunch of good ass dudes today. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday.
Because that's what we do. We're good ass dudes.
I pay my parking tickets.
I pay my parking tickets. We're good-ass dudes. Great to hear from you.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, guys. Have a great one.
All right. He went there.
That was awesome.
Yep. I'm glad he went there. Good-ass dudes.